Hello guys, welcome to T.L.B.P, Two Latin Brothers. I'm Victor.
And I'm Adrian.
And we are on episode 18.
Finally got it right. Oh my goodness.
I know. I always mess it up when we cut it out or like we keep it in.
18 weeks for you to get it right.
Yeah.
So I think you got the first 3 right, and then it just went down.
Actually, I still messed up the intro because I said, hey guys, it's T.L.B.P, not hey guys, it's Two Latin Brothers, you know. Also
just stop.
TFP.
Just stop. Anyway, this week we have another guest.
Yeah.
This time it was my turn to get a guest.
Yeah.
Really, I did myself this week, guys. Really did the effort. You want to say hi?
Hi, it's Chloe.
Yes, say your name.
Wasn't sure if you were gonna introduce me.
I was
how
gonna be
was
like
go?
this old friend. I don't know. I just gotta hand it over. Like you do your own intro because like I don't know. I feel like if I start like listing all your accomplishments, you'll be like, oh, it's awkward.
I mean, this isn't my podcast, so I was kind of letting you guys rule the roost over here.
Yeah, we just kind of do whatever. Honestly,
yeah, it just goes with the flow. You know?
That works.
Yeah.
I mean.
And we do like so many side tangents. And
yeah,
then he'll be like, "So the question was."
I mean, you've met me. You know that's no problem.
That's like our forte.
Side tangents, I got that.
Yeah. So you have the floor.
Yeah. Okay. So I have 3 questions basically. So.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let me give the rundown
real
quick. For context, if you're listening to this for the first time, which you probably are because we're not that popular yet. So basically, what we do is week to week. Well, every other week, either I or Victor will bring a guest and we'll ask that person, depending on whose friend it is, the other person will ask them 3 questions. So in this case, I brought a friend, so Victor will ask you 3 questions. And this is just a way for him to get to know me as a person better and to know what kind of friends I used to have.
That's sweet.
Or the friends I still have, or vice versa. Also, it gives me an insight to know how his friends are and stuff like that. So also because apparently we don't do enough bonding, but that's a whole other issue.
We don't do enough bonding.
I mean,
if we're bonding, we're facing a screen.
That's a whole other issue. I'm not getting into that right now. But yeah, so that's really how this started. Anyway,
yeah.
Okay, that works.
Way too many details, not the point. Anyway, so you have the floor. Ask a question.
So first question actually is for both of you. You know, the age-old question: how did you guys meet?
Oh my goodness, how did we meet?
I actually told them prior to this
that
I don't remember.
Okay, I don't remember either.
Wow,
I feel like
terrible friends.
No, but like I feel like it was in school at some point.
No, it was at some point in school. But the thing is like it's just we hit it off really well.
Yeah, I think we just had to sit beside each other in class and we just started talking, and then that's just how it worked.
I don't even think it was like that. I feel like I was just like hanging out with someone, and then you showed up, and it just
that's possible.
It just went, like that's the thing. Like I don't remember like a specific like I have like we've had another guest on. He remembered exactly what he said to me the first time.
Oh my goodness, no.
And I was like, I don't even remember that. Like I was like, and the thing too is like I used to have an amazing memory, like a really really good memory.
Me too.
But as I'm getting older, it's just getting worse and worse.
I know, and we're young, right? Like, can you imagine in like 20 years?
You guys will be like, what did I have for breakfast this morning?
Oh, that's me already now.
Yeah,
Which is a problem.
No, like honestly, like this morning I got up and I walked downstairs and I was like, so it was like, I don't know, it's like 11 o'clock and I'm like, so I'm going to leave now. Should I, did you eat breakfast? I'm like,
I don't remember.
She's like, cause you know, you can still go do that. And I was like, right, I'm going to go do that now.
See, like, even for me today, I'm supposed to meet you guys, later on, but then I ended up going an hour and a half earlier cause I like forgot which text you sent me on like what we were meeting up. So I remembered the wrong thing. So it shows. And we have it in text messages and I didn't even go reread it.
Okay.
So I think I beat you on the forgetfulness right now.
No, but like when you like texted me, I was like, hey, cause we were like late cause the bus, whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm already here. And I was like, I look at Victor, like, she's such a Canadian. She's actually on time.
And then I'm just like one of my friends. He never shows up on time.
I hate being late. Like,
I do too. Like, I really hate it. Like,
it gives me so bad anxiety. Just like
to
be like, I show up an hour early to my shifts at work.
Oh my god.
But I'm like able to like work an hour early.
Yeah.
But still, like,
no,
I cannot be late.
I'm like that with classes. Like, if I have to leave, like, what is it? Like, I was telling my sister thinks I'm crazy because I have like an 8 a.m. class and it takes me an hour to get to the college from my house. So I'll leave, like, say it's like so I'd have to leave at 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave at 6:30.
That was my
just to make sure I'm on time.
That was my same situation back when I went to college too.
Yeah,
I would have to leave early.
Like I'm like I can't risk being late. The other issue too is like most of my profs that are morning class profs, they'll lock the door.
Yeah, that
so
happens.
Like as soon as like it strikes 8, they'll lock the doors, and then like you're that awkward person who's stuck on the other side of the door
and knocks.
No, the thing is there's windows on the door.
So you just like
all you can see is somebody just like
everyone can
poking
see
their head out.
Literally the word. No, but I think that's how we met. Like, it must have been, because I remember at the time I was with someone specifically that you were friends with at the time.
Sounds just a lot of people.
Okay, well, she was younger than us, so that should nail it down.
Was she blonde?
Yes. You know who I'm talking about?
Does she have a sister?
Yes.
Well, like,
yes,
my sister?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I was talking...
You knew her?
Yeah.
That's how we met?
Yeah, no, okay, look, so this is how I remember. Okay, so she was talking with someone I was with.
Oh, yeah.
That was in my grade, because, like, something to do with, like, Link Crew or whatever, because, okay, so, for context, Link Crew was, because back then she was in grade 9 when I was in grade 11, and Link Crew was... Okay, so...
Yes, I remember.
So, Link Crew, is, like, this thing where, like, older, students basically help...
Senior students.
Yeah, like, grade 11
where senior
and
students
12.
help out the younger...
Anyway, yeah, so the grade 11s and 12s help the grade 9s integrate better into school. So, yeah, I remember that. And because of that, and then you just kind of like showed up out of nowhere, and then we all just started talking, and then we just kind of branched out in our own ways, and then, I don't know.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah, but like, I don't remember, like, I feel like I should remember. I feel kind of bad.
Me too, like, you can't really feel bad because I'm in the exact same boat. Like, this is bothering me now. Like, I'm gonna go home and like try and deep dive into like how we met right now. Yeah. But I have like specific memories that I remember, but like meeting. That bothers me so much now.
Yeah, no.
I don't even know you. Who are you?
I think this is like the first question that's never actually been answered.
Well, I mean, there was one question we asked someone, and they're just like, pass. So I cropped out the entire conversation. But, that's been, okay, next question. I was gonna say something, but I changed my
Okay, so what are your hobbies, you know? Like, what do you do in your spare time?
Well, right now I work at a pizza place. So that's not really a hobby.
I'm going to ask you what pizza place later so that I can give a discount.
I mean, I can't really give a discount because I get them for free, but I mean. But yeah, no, like for my hobbies, I guess I like to longboard. That's fun. Like I got into that recently, in the last like 2 years-ish, and that's fun, especially when the weather's a lot nicer.
That can't be true. Yeah. Because you were into that when we were in high school.
I never longboarded.
No, but you were like, I remember this. There was this.
She was into it, but never did it.
I was like never with a skateboard.
Here's the thing. I don't remember a lot of things, but like I remember certain distinctive conversations that we had.
Yeah, same. That's the
thing. Like I remember very like almost word for word the conversations we had. Like I can play it in my head. But like I remember this one time we were actually by the skate park because our high school used to have a skate. We were walking.
Not used to. It's still there.
Okay, well I said because for us we used to
go to that high school, right?
So for us, it used to anyway. But we were walking by there, and we were with our your other friends.
Okay, yeah.
And you were like, oh, I want to get a longboard and this and that, and I was like, and then one of our other friends, one of your friends was like, yeah. Okay. She was like, she was just saying how like, you know, you have that like skater girl vibe anyway. So she said, I totally see you doing that. And you're like, see, I told you. And I remember you turning to look at me and she's like, what do you think? And I was like, yeah, you know, whatever.
You go for it.
You also knew that I was a klutz and you're like, you're probably going to get a concussion.
Yeah, like literally. The reason I did that was because I remembered, we have at the time, I had another friend who he did a lot of snowboarding, and he broke both his ankles at the exact same, like on the same day. So he was like in a wheelchair for a couple of months, and I was like, that was the first thing that came to mind. No, that was the first thing that came to mind when you were like, yeah, I'm gonna start skating. I was like,
you're like, she's gonna break her ankle.
No, but my first thought was like, I guess I'll just push her around the school. That was my first thought.
We had to do that with our other friend, actually. That's funny that you mentioned that.
That
friend that we're talking about, we had to push her around the school at one point. And that's how you got your nickname Speedy, was that day, actually, that we pushed her around.
Yeah, that was funny.
Picture day. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, I remember that story.
Oh. I don't remember that story.
Okay,
I wasn't there.
Okay, actually, I think we should give the audience context. Okay, so for those who don't know, back in episode 2, we addressed this. Okay, so it's like 16 episodes ago. Oh my gosh. So, when I was in high school, I was given the nickname Speedy, and I went over how like a lot of people called me that in high school, and even like a lot of teachers started calling me that, and how like it just kept escalating, and even now in college, people call me that. And Chloe is actually the one who gave me that nickname.
Yeah, I actually gave him that nickname. It was like photo day at school, and we were in yearbook class at the time, and I don't remember what we were doing. I feel like we had some errands to run for a teacher, something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
I think it was something along the lines. But I remember you just kept booking it.
Well, yeah, because Because, okay, so look, so here's what happened. Okay, so...
Okay, you remember
yeah,
better.
It's his nickname.
No,
Exactly.
I mean, like, I just remember what happened. That's why. Okay, so what happened is that, we were supposed to, like, helping, like, the classes get in line or whatever.
Yes.
And we had to hand out, like, these, like little, like, card things with their name and number on them. And you guys were taking forever, so I literally was like handing them out as fast as I.
Yeah. But I remember you like booking it. Like I remember giving you
Oh,
Speedy, not just because you were handing it out fast.
Yeah.
Like I remember distinctly, you got Speedy because you were like booking it in the lobby,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like you were booking it like down there. And I've never seen you run that fast, and I've never seen you run that fast since. So like,
It's because it was a high pressure situation. It's because like we had to get to the whole school.
yeah,
like,
no, I know.
And we only had like what was it? Some like it was like a 2 hours. Was it like two? It was like 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't even like.
It was like because it was like 2 classes,
Yeah.
right? So it's like 2 hours. So we had like 2 hours to take a picture, multiple pictures of the entire school.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then I remember the teacher being like, "You guys are taking for long to hand out the pamphlets or like the thing." I can't remember. It was like their student number.
Yeah, it was just like their student number, their name, and
yeah. So the photographer would know like to keep track or record or whatever. And like I remember there was this one time where we were handing out the wrong ones. Everyone's like,
did that?
Yeah, because like we.
was I there?
No, you weren't there.
Okay.
I was with someone else, but like we were like handing them out, and they're like, "Are you?" And the person was like, "No." "Are you?" "No." And then like, okay, so they were like, "So this isn't the right class, clearly." And then we're like, scrambling to find like the ones that were for that class, and we couldn't figure out like what class it was. And then, thank God, I knew someone in that grade actually who was in that class, and he's like, "Yeah, we're this class." And I was like, "Okay." So I started like looking for like the box with all this. I found it. And handed them all out, and I just remember how stressed I was, because I remember the other thing too is like that teacher, after that moment on, he saw like how good I was with stuff like that, and he'd always be, and this is when like I was thinking like I'd always be running in the hallways back and forth, because as soon as he had like a tech issue or some type of problem, he'd call me.
Yeah.
Like regardless of class I was in, he's like, "Hey, can you send Adrian up? Like I need help with this." And I was like, I remember this one time I was like,
for a tech teacher.
Yeah. I remember what class I think it was in math class, and then he called, and I just like, okay. And then one time, like, I was in music, and the music teacher was like, why? Why do you need him right now?
Because.
Yeah, it was like the funniest thing. And I remember this one time he called me to like fix a speaker, and literally like the problem was that the speaker wasn't plugged into power. Oh. Like it was so funny. Like he thought it was like a computer issue as to when he's like, "They're not working." He was like slapping the side of it.
Just plug in.
Yeah, and I like, I look at I'm like, I get there. I'm like, "What's wrong with like the speaker?" I'm like, "Okay." Then like I checked like the computer to see if like maybe he has like the wrong output selected. Then I'm like, "Okay, did you check if it's plugged into the computer?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's plugged in." Then I'm like, "Okay, did you check if it's plugged into power?" And he's like, "Oh, you're right, the little light isn't turning on." It was just so fun. Like, things like that. That was
just our high school, though. I feel like not many people were very technological advanced.
Yeah, and I was kind of a nerd. Anyway.
That's okay.
I mean, like, I did really good at hiding it. Like it was up until recently.
I'm
like,
just open with it.
No, like
embrace it.
No, like I mean, like a lot of people don't know this about me. But I was actually the other day I was telling my sister how I was that kid who grew up liking trains, who grew up reading comic books, who was like complete like I don't want to be here invisible type person. Mm-hmm. And then I got to high school and I was like I need to be more outgoing and stuff. So like I took off and shelved it. Like I'll just stay for a rainy day or something like that. And I just changed like the kind of essentially like for like I guess I started like when I was like in grade 7-ish. When I started like changing, well, you've heard a lot of those stories.
Yeah.
How like I slowly changed and then I became the person I am now. And now I'm like slowly reverting back into that person.
But it's good because you're becoming comfortable with who you are, right? Like
I don't know about that.
but you will like get with it over time, right? Like you're gonna change as a person.
Oh, yeah,
in like 15 years, you might not like comic books. It's probably a stretch. But like, let's say, even I love comic books.
So. We watched Endgame and he nerded out.
Give me a spoiler. I'm seeing it tomorrow. Okay?
Don't worry. I had a substitute teacher today in science class and she's like, "Don't say a word."
Yeah, no, it's been so hard because I was telling my sister how like I follow like a lot of like people who are like they have their like spoiler tendencies, and like for like Infinity War I like the day it came out we went to go watch it.
Yeah.
Because they spoiled like another movie for me and I was like, okay, you know what?
Not doing this again.
No, I can't. So like we didn't go the day up, but we went on like was it Saturday? Like the day after.
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing is like we have a friend who he's really into comic books and stuff like that too. he went like for the midnight release.
Oh, nice.
So he was like straight up like I was like don't you dare like anything. Like it was just like so cramped. Also like the thing was is like I had stuff. I still had stuff because it was like during my exam week that it came out. So I was like still cramming to get stuff done. And I was like, why is this doing this to why?
Like, I wanted to see it, because, you know, my anniversary was with my boyfriend this last weekend when it came out, and I've been, like, planning to see that movie for our anniversary, but then we ended up going out of town for the weekend, so we couldn't see it, so my whole life this weekend has just been, like, muting every single, like, Marvel word on Twitter, and that's the only social media app I'm going on, because I can mute certain words.
Yeah.
And then I forgot to mute Thor and Captain America, and I got a spoiler.
Yeah.
You know how mad I was this morning? Because I forgot 2 of them, and then they became in a tweet.
Yeah.
So salty.
Wait, with who and who?
Thor and Captain America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Leave
it. No,
stop. Don't go.
Stop. No, stop. Just stop. Leave it. No, stop. I don't want the comment section people to be tweeting at me being
no, it's
bro.
so,
Stop.
I can't even say if it's accurate because like I saw something for like 2 seconds and then I just like scrolled. Like I did
that like auto update. You gotta like I love when you go on Instagram and like you start scrolling and you're scrolling and all of a sudden it'll auto update and you're like, I was gonna like that photo and I lost it.
Yeah, that happens to me whenever I like turn on my Instagram. I'll like look at something and I'll like, it's usually a meme. So I'm like, I want to look at it or screenshot it or something. And then it disappears and then it's gone.
It's auto update.
And then I'll never see that meme again.
Yeah, it's just like gone into the void.
It's the whole of me that's gone. With the memes.
That's great. Alright, so.
Oh yeah, you have another question, don't you?
Yeah.
See, side tangents.
Side tangents. I
don't know how. Told you I was good at those.
Okay.
So I heard you were in a tornado.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So how was that experience for you?
So I actually have 2 stories that kind of connect, but I'll start with a different one.
I think the question should be, I heard you're accident prone.
Basically, so that's basically where I'm going with this. Because they kind of intertwine in a way that you never would expect them to. Okay. So a year before that happened, I was in a car accident.
Okay.
So I got hit by a car. So
was that your fault or was that the driver's?
No, it was a pedestrian. So it wasn't my fault. I was walking in a parking lot. The driver was doing a U-turn in a parking lot for whatever reason. Don't know how that worked, but she ended up hitting me. But as that happened, I ended up hurting myself, hurting my knee and all that. But a year later is when the tornado hit me, and a day on the anniversary of my accident. It happened a year to the day, like in a day.
So you are accident prone.
I am accident prone, apparently in September.
Okay.
But yeah,
weren't you born in September?
No, I'm born in March.
Oh, that's right.
I'm a Pisces. My birthday passed.
That's
and you said happy birthday to me.
Yeah, no, it's just
he gets notified.
Look, no. I actually remember her birthday. It's just like the reason I said September is because we were talking about our group of friends back then, and one of them is born in September. Okay,
October.
Don't think about it now.
My month.
Don't think about it now. We'll just keep going. Okay. With your story.
Oh yeah, so the tornado. So anyways, I'll go into like the car accident after. I'll explain. I'll answer your question about the tornado. I'll go off this tangent. But yeah, so the tornado happened. So I was at home and like, I don't know if you guys remember the day, but we're getting like warnings and stuff. Yeah. But our area, you get warnings. Kind of don't take them seriously. Learned my lesson, that's for sure. So anyways, I'm sitting and in my apartment, the way my couch was placed was it was facing a hill. And the way I live on a hill. So all of a sudden the wind's getting pretty bad. I have stuff on my balcony. I'm kind of getting worried. I'm like, all right, I'll go take the stuff off my balcony. Tornado warning. I see the wind's bad. Then all of a sudden I go up to my window and I look outside a little bit to the right because I was going to open up my balcony door. Yeah. All of a sudden I look up and to the right and there's a tornado tearing apart one of the apartment buildings like a movie. Like, it was so scary that, like, I felt like it was surreal. Like, it felt like a dream. It didn't feel real at all. And then, in my state of panic, I ran to my couch, which is 5 feet away from my glass window. I'm great in emergencies. And, yeah, it literally felt like the whole apartment was just gonna, like, shatter. Like, it was shaking, it was like an earthquake and, like, a huge truck, and, like, it felt like everything was moving. Yeah. And then at the time, I had adopted a kitten the day before because of my, like, car accident. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this day a little bit better, like, from my accident. A year later, I'll adopt a cat. And so I had a 6-week-old kitten that didn't know me yet and, like, doesn't trust me or anything because I'm a big human being compared to her. And we lose all our power. Everything's gone. The apartment building beside me had no roof. It literally got peeled off. Like, in the news afterwards, in my neighborhood, there was some older man. Apparently his kid was like flying in the air and he was holding on for dear life in my neighborhood.
Wow.
Like in the little block I live in. And it was insane. Like, I didn't even realize like the sense of the damage, like while being in my apartment, because like all these alarms are going off. Like I look outside and I see there's debris everywhere, but then I thought, okay, like I see some buildings damaged, but at the time I hadn't seen what happened to the apartment building beside me or the one beside that one, and both those are completely wrecked. Like the roof's gone, it's basically gutted. And there's more down the hill, too.
This happened like, what, September? Was it
it happened in September. So it happened about 8 months ago, I'd say. 8 months?
No,
7 months?
Four?
No, 4. November, December, so that's 4. December was 4. January, February, March, April, 8.
I can't count anymore.
Honestly, who's in college?
Okay, look, here's the thing.
And you took
look, here's the thing. Okay, look. Ever since I started college, it just all balled up into one. Like, my day, like, it's also because, like, I just got out of finals. And, like, I was telling my brother this yesterday, I'm like, I still feel like I have something to get done, but I don't. I'm still, like, in this anxiety, bro.
I have something due, I can't rest.
Yeah, but it's, like, the problem is I'm done school now, so it's, like, my dad's like,
relax.
It'll linger there for a few days, like, afterwards.
Yeah, you have to, like, shut off your body, basically.
Yeah.
And, like, it's really hard to do.
The problem is I don't really do that, because, you know, that's not a thing I do. Anyway... but I remember one of my profs telling us how he used to be a carpenter before he was he used to be a carpenter, and he was telling us how like he helped someone put in like a fence. Yeah. Like they changed their fence. Like they put this brand new fence and everything. And he's like, and it was gone. Like the entire fence was just gone.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, and the thing too is like he did it for like his friend, like as a favor. Yeah. Like, and his friend was like in Florida or something for they went on vacation or something to Florida or something like that. No. And he's like, and I was like planning to surprise them with the fence. He's like, and then I show up and it's just gone. Like the whole entire fence is just gone. That's so He's sad. Like, also their entire patio was just, everything was just gone. Was
their house damaged?
No, like
that's
it was,
good.
Like the thing is like, cause he's like, I don't know how like the wind came in. He's like, I think it like went in like a direction that didn't hit the house because like the thing is like the wood paneling was nowhere to be found. Like it just like, he's like, it got blown so far away. He's like it was nowhere in the area. He's like, it was like 6 like houses over, like in some guy's pool. That's crazy. I'm like,
that actually happened to me. We ended up losing something in the tornado. We had like a big like farm wood like bench on our balcony, and that's why I like opened it up because it was like this big thing, and it was like flying around on my balcony. That thing was gone. No clue where it went. There was also a chest freezer in front of my apartment building, like you know those big basement ones, and it was in front, and we have like maybe a 4-meter like distance between the two apartments, and the freezer flew from the front of the apartment building all the way to the back fence. I'm surprised it didn't go through like the apartment buildings because with the tornado it could have easily gone through.
Just like
oh yeah, and you know those 2 buildings I was telling you about that were like right next door to me that like lost the roofs and everything and got gutted? I ended up showing you guys a picture earlier of it. Those are completely gone now. They're demolished. They were unsavable. Wow. Like, that's how bad it was. And
so those apartment buildings aren't even there
they're
anymore?
They're not there anymore. It's just, like empty space, empty fields. And they only, like, tore down the one beside me, like, a month ago. Oh, wow. It took them that long. And even in my building, because I was homeless for 3 weeks living. Like, because with the tornado. Because of the tornado. They didn't know if we could ever go back. Oh, so, basically, that day that happened, my, like, landlord actually was in the building next door that lost its roof. And he was, like, at the front door where it's all glass. Yeah. Like, I know you've been in apartment buildings before. Usually there's that, like, that lobby thing,
the lobby's,
right?
like, all glass,
Yeah, and that's where he was. And his wife was in the car. And the tornado went right over them and it just missed us. Like, the way the tornado hit is there's like a street like that's to the right. There's like 2 apartment buildings beside me to the right, and then there's a street. And basically the tornado went down that whole entire street and just missed my apartment building. It completely damaged the one to the right.
Sheer luck.
I know. And the one to the left of me, nothing at all. The one behind me, which is parallel with mine, that one got damaged. we got so lucky, and I don't even know how that happened. But we first,
well, like I mean, like the thing too is like this is Canada,
right? Like
you don't expect.
I've never heard of it. Like I don't think I've ever heard. I mean,
not in the city.
Yeah,
either, right?
Yeah. Like the thing too is like, well, it's because like we're like in a very dense area, like populated area.
Yeah.
So like it's not like like just like nowhere tornadoes. Like we're not like out in the countryside where like that's like common, right? Like and you hear this a lot in the States too. Like in the countryside, they got like crazy. They have tornado season.
Yeah, like the States has it all the time.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, they even have like shows like what is like tornado
chaser or whatever. Yeah.
They like chase tornadoes. Like y'all crazy. But,
yeah.
like,
no, thank you. After that experience. No.
Yeah. And then like
chased me.
And they have well, like we've had tail ends of hurricanes before because like in Florida they'll start and then they'll work their way up slowly
and then we'll barely get
and then like and they're like the thing too. Okay, so on the day of the tornado, this is my side of it. I guess what I was doing that day.
Oh yeah, what happened to you?
It was so funny.
Okay.
I never left the house. I spent the whole day with a migraine in bed.
Oh.
And my phone just kept going off that there was like a tornado happening. I remember.
And you're just like, I don't see it.
No, the thing too.
That was me too, though.
The thing is like I was like basically comatose in bed, like with like so much like medicine because like my migraines are like basically like just insanity.
They put you out of order.
I have chronic migraines, so I understand that.
No, like, but like, anyway, I just have to like essentially knock myself out in order to be a functional human being the next day. So, but yeah, like, so, well, you remember when I was in high school, I used to get them all the time. Like, I was barely,
you were the only one that could relate to me with the migraine point.
Well, like, no, like, I remember in grade 12, my law teacher told me that I had missed something like almost 50% of her classes.
Wow.
And she's like, like, she's like, and she also taught my sister. So she was like, I know you have this in the family. She's like, but let's be real, you got the short end of the stick on this. Like, she was like, you got it the worst. I was like, I don't even know. Like, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know.
You couldn't
like,
figure out the trigger.
I couldn't figure it out. And for like, even now, like.
Have you figured it out for you?
No, yeah. Well, like, the thing is, it's just like, I think it was something in the school, actually.
Actually, I agree with that.
I think maybe it was like a cleaning product that they were using.
I agree with that. Or I got migraines too.
Or there's something that there's something else in the school.
I only get them in the music room.
That happened.
But it's not because of the sound either.
Well,
I was gonna say you go to the same school that we went to, right? I was gonna say because when you had migraines, that happened a lot around that.
It happens near because there's a tower,
right? And
it always happens near there.
See, in the tower when I was in auto mechanics.
Okay, let's explain for starters that the school doesn't actually have a tower. It's like
we call it the tower. True, we call it the tower. So
for context,
so the high school that we've gone to, basically there's like a box that's the H wing, and then there's like a big hallway, and then it turns into an L, right?
Yeah,
it turns into an L, and then you go down the like long part of the L, and then you get into this big circle part. Yeah. And that's what we call the tower. And that's where the automotive area is, where the music
department,
like all the art, like the open classes.
Drama,
our tech class was there.
Photography's in there.
Yeah. Photography was, and like for me, a lot of my classes were over there, and that's when I got diagnosed for chronic migraines. Was in high school.
No, but like I don't know,
maybe
like
it's just the tower.
No, but as soon as I like,
there could be something there.
No, but the thing too is like through grade 10 and 11, like it wasn't so bad, and then as soon as I started like grade 12, it got really, really bad. And
could have been stress adding to it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't really think it was that, but to be honest, like the other thing too is like I wasn't even in music anymore. So like I was rarely in the tower at that point. Oh, yeah. So, like...
You ruined our hypothesis.
I know. You just, like...
I know. That's why I wanted to talk. But you guys kept cutting me off. Anyway. No, but... So, yeah. No, but I don't know what it was that, like, triggered my... I have so many... Like, it got to a point where there was, like, a week where I only went to school 2 days because I'd get to school and I'd walk into the building, I'd go to my first class and be like, yeah, I can't do this. And it'd be like, it got to a point where like, I remember, oh yeah, that teacher, she was telling me how, like, if I had like, like what was triggering and I have no idea. And as soon as I left the high school, went away.
Nice.
Like, and I get them like, now it's like super, super rare
for me to get. Maybe it's just something they use as a cleaning product.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah,
because
like as soon as you walk in, it's almost something you feel that like that's gonna trigger it, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah,
and then you walk out and you're like,
you're fine.
I'm fine.
Because there are certain smells and certain things that like trigger it.
Yeah.
Like even certain foods can trigger it.
Like chocolate, like watermelon.
Like really, really ripe watermelon. Like watermelon that's like super ripe. you shouldn't be eating it because it activates migraines.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that.
No, but that's only for some people. It doesn't
like,
always
yeah, it depends.
For
like,
me, it's tomatoes. Like, I think I have a sensitivity. So anything with tomatoes.
Everyone hates something with tomatoes.
No, but I love tomatoes. When I was a kid, I used to eat tomatoes normal. Like, I used to drink, like not
apple.
normal. That's what I'm saying, not normal.
Yeah.
I used to eat it like an apple. I put salt and pepper on it and like bite, and I was fine. I love tomatoes.
That's so good.
But now, like, as I've gotten older, I used to work at a cinema, and that's where I kind of figured out, like, that I had, like, some food sensitivities and coffee as well. I can't drink coffee, or I'll have a splitting, like, migraine.
If you don't have one the next day.
Huh? No, I'll get it, like, the second afterwards. And that's how I figured out that the trigger for me. Because one of my friends, or like one of my coworkers at the cinema, she had these chocolate-covered coffee beans from like Ballpark or something. And I didn't drink coffee because it would give me a headache.
Maybe it's just
like,
pure bean.
Yeah, and that's what I figured out. And it's not caffeine. Because I can drink Monster energy drinks, which has enough caffeine, and it don't give me migraines. But if I drink a coffee or have a sip, migraine, like instant.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I've been
See, me, like, the thing is, like, I guess it's because we're Latin. We're like, essentially Latin people drink coffee just like that. Like, just dark coffee, just like that.
It's rich.
That's a real cup. Anyway, we're not getting into that. No, so, but in our case, like, we get hooked to it. Like, like instant, we're basically instant addicts. So, like, what ends up...
You get speedy on it.
Okay, please don't.
Oh, that was
God, no. Okay.
That was good.
Okay, so, okay. Get back to the point. No, so what ends up happening is, like, if I have a cup of coffee, say, I don't know, at 9 a.m. If I don't have one by 10 a.m. the next day, migraine.
Oh, wow. But
I don't get that. Coffee doesn't affect me.
But the caffeine withdrawal, though,
is
that like your body?
That's the thing, right? Like, here's the thing. It only works with coffee.
Oh,
like, but if I have,
so
like, I can have like an iced cup of coffee and it won't do anything.
And it's just like black coffee.
Yeah, it's just black coffee. Like, and the other thing too is, like, depending how much milk to sugar to cream ratio, it'll affect me.
Oh.
So it's like, it's really weird. Like, I remember.
So you almost nullify the caffeine.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. Like,
it's not as potent. It kind of makes sense.
Well,
but...
I went to like a friend's place, and he was like, he had like an espresso machine. And he's like, you want a cup of coffee? I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, like, yeah, sure. Next day, biggest mistake. I regretted it so much. Like, yeah, I was like in bed, but like migraines get like, it's like if you didn't know I had a migraine, you'd think I had like some type of flu.
Yeah.
Because like,
they get like that.
Oh, it gets me so hard. Like, I'll be throwing up, I'll be coughing, I'll be
the
like,
same way.
I'll be like, my nose will get it's basically like if I'm going through like a 24-hour virus.
Yeah, like all your senses get heightened. Everything's just like
everything's broken. You just feel broken. You're like, I'm not sick, but I'm dying.
Yeah.
No, like, I remember this one time I was telling my sister, like, I need like someone to grab like a frying pan and just smack me on the back of the head. Just knock me out.
Here's a pressure point.
Well, like, no, like, I remember, I have a friend who he says that, like, his migraines used to be really bad too. And he says that, it got to a point where, like, he, like, stabbed himself with, like, a fork to trick his brain. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's actually really crazy and barbaric.
Yeah, you have
Cause there are certain, like, I remember, like, one, like, this is gonna sound really gross, but, like, I remember when I get a migraine, and if I throw up, the entire time I'm throwing up, the head pounding stops.
Okay, I agree with you on that, though. It's so weird, because whenever I have a migraine, and then if I'm throwing up, or if I'm, like, crying or something, or, like, doing something where I'm, like, completely distracted, like, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's completely gone. And I'm just, like, I'm in heaven, and then for, like, 10 seconds, I'm just, like, glorious, it's gone. And then all of a sudden you just feel the pressure seeping back in, and you're like, kill me now.
Actually, I was reading an article recently that says that, do you know what biometric pressure is?
I know the term. I can't give you a scientific definition.
Okay, but do you know what it is?
Give me just the...
Okay, it's basically...
We'll just go over for the users that don't know and me.
Okay, so it's basically like the pressure in the air around you.
Okay.
Essentially, like, super
maybe
layman's
pressure
terms.
At the school.
No, like, okay, so in super layman's terms, that's what it is.
Okay.
Like, in the most...
It's just the air pressure?
Yeah, like, in the most dumbed down way physically possible, essentially. Also, it has to do with, like, the magnetic field and all that, but we're not going to get into that.
It has to do with the other way.
Anyway, but, like, the higher the pressure of the earth, the more migraine prone you are.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, like, and my dad was telling me that recently he started, like, he'll start check, because he suffers from this too, and he gets it a lot.
And he doesn't just get it for like one day.
Yeah.
It extends.
Yeah, he can have it for like 2 days sometimes. Like it's really, really bad.
Actually,
like,
it happened recently, and it was just like
he's like, I've had this he's like, what is it? And like he's like, I've had this like headache for like 2 days. And he's like, it's gonna turn into my. He's just like ready, waiting for it.
You just know you're like waiting.
No,
for it
what gives us a sign is we go blind from like one of our eyes.
Yeah, no, I actually have that too, where I go blind out of one of my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And after my accident, I was telling you guys, actually, this kind of pertains with my car accident.
Yeah.
Actually, so I'll go into that story and explain that one in detail now.
Okay.
And basically, so yeah, I told you guys how I got hit,
Mm-hmm.
and the girl, she ended up hitting, her name was Linda. I'm just gonna give that name out there because I don't even know who she is. Normally I don't give names, but can't tell you her last name. I just know she's some old white woman. Narrows it down, right? So
like just like half the population of Earth.
Exactly. Basically, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, this woman, she ended up hitting me, and she ran over my right leg. Actually, when she was driving an SUV and ran over my right leg, I broke my tooth. I had a concussion, like a severe one. But I didn't break any bones. I ended up my knee got run over by her car, but no broken bones. Luckily, just my broken tooth. Now my
no
front
sprains
left
or anything.
The sprains, I'm not sure. Like I had a knee brace for 3 weeks, and I was
ligaments, nothing.
See, torn ligaments, I actually haven't gone and checked. This happened almost 2 years ago.
That can make you more accident prone.
Yeah, that actually adds to it. So
okay, look,
yeah, you should get that checked out.
We gotta stop.
I'm sorry. I become a doctor when they start talking about things like
no, it's okay.
No, look, here's the thing. Like, his last guest came in with, like, bandages on. Like,
Yeah.
if you listen to that episode, I addressed the fact that he has his hand wrapped and his leg is, like, wrapped.
I feel less accident prone
no,
right
like,
now.
no, but, like,
he plays sports.
Yeah,
so.
Okay,
but
never
he had
mind.
just come out, like, at a volleyball tournament. And
he sprained his thumb and he still played volleyball bumping.
My boyfriend does that. Like, he used to play volleyball, for, like, a team at college, and he, like, his profile picture actually is his thumb sprained, and he's playing volleyball, so it's really fun to get my boyfriend as a guest.
I don't know if you noticed, but I don't actually follow your boyfriend.
No, but you should.
That'd be weird.
But no.
We'll keep in contact. Maybe we'll bring him in.
Yeah, we should.
I don't know.
If you want someone to talk about volleyball again.
No, but it was really funny because, like, I was just like, cause he was like, standing, like, he was sitting there like this the entire time. And he was just like holding his arm, and like I got to a point where I'm like, yo, what's the matter with your hand?
You're broken, man.
No, like, what's the matter with your hand? Like, I just I need to address this right now.
Yeah. He was very broken
Yeah,
that day.
I'll continue with the car story before we run out of time and no story. So basically, so she ended up hitting me, ran me over, hospital trip went fine. I ended up getting like checked in. But one of the biggest things with my accident was my eyes afterwards. And I had chronic migraines, so I never thought of anything with my eyes going like blurry and stuff. I get like vision migraines, but those started happening after. So now I don't really get pressure migraines on my head. Since my accident, I get vision migraines. So I basically go blind instead, not really blind. Like I have like double vision, but it's really blurry, and then there's spots missing, and it's really bad. Like I can't
like black spots.
I have black spots, and when I was like getting checked in after my accident, they ended up seeing that my I had black spots. Like I mentioned it, sorry. Like she's like, "Oh, what do you see?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, like there's a black spot, but like I can kind of see around it." And then I left, and then they called me back. They're like, "You have a black spot, come back." So they ended up making me lose my license over that because of the fact that I had the blind spot in my eye. Yeah. So, but that was like not on my control, and I was a pedestrian that got hit. Like I wasn't in the wrong at all. Oh, in the wrong at all. Sorry. Another tangent about the accident, though.
She blamed you for it.
So, basically the cop. So here's an interesting perspective of my accident. So after my accident happened, I was on morphine, and as someone who doesn't do drugs, it was interesting. So, to say the least. And so, at the time, I was in a program called Police Foundation, and I was in my second year. And unfortunately, I never got to finish the program due to my accident, and I wasn't able to keep up with the physical aspect. And the Ontario college strike happened at the time as well. That happened a couple weeks after my accident as well.
Yeah.
So I ended up missing a ton of school.
Fun times.
Yeah, I know, fun times.
Yeah, anyway.
That happened all in Ontario. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And basically, I lost where I was going with that. Oh, yes, cop. Okay, yeah, so I was on morphine, sorry. And this cop comes in, and I'm, like, excited to see a cop. Like, that was basically my gist of what was happening. Like, that I wasn't worried about my leg. I wasn't worried about my tooth being cracked. I was just like, there's a cop here. Yay! Like, that was it. So I was just answering his
Did anyone
question.
film you like this?
No.
Oh, we
Thank
missed
God.
out. We missed out.
Thank goodness. think I would have cried if I watched that video afterwards.
It would have been great. Oral star?
Basically. And like, so this cop comes in and like, he's asking me, but I was like trying to say, cause he asked me what happened and I just say like, I don't remember grabbing my phone cause my phone flew out of my hand. When I got hit, I wasn't looking at my phone. I was walking and it was in my hand at the time.
Yeah.
And it obviously went flying when I got hit and fell under the car. It just flew onto the ground. And that barely got damaged, which still makes me mad. It got one crack. I got a broken tooth and my phone, great. But we didn't have to buy a new phone. But yeah, so that, so I'm telling the guy, like, I went to go grab my phone. I don't remember that part. I'm just telling him I blacked out. And then he, for some reason, I don't know if it's because of the way I was speaking on morphine, but like my mom was there and my boyfriend was there and they say that I was talking normally, like enough, right? Like that I was telling a story fine. And then he went and put me as the cause of the accident. But that's one, cannot happen in a parking lot, first of all. And two, there were witnesses. So anyways, I got mad and then I got the police report and it took him a week and a half to do, which one, cops are supposed to be done in 24 hours or a week. Like they have a limit. Their limit is a week or it's, I don't know if it's illegal or they could get in trouble or whatever. I didn't continue with that because that wasn't a big deal of him being late over a sheet. But then he wasn't even there at the scene of the crime. And then he put the wrong like kilometer speed that she went at. And then he tried to say I was at fault. So then I had to deal with that right after my accident. And then I was calling his supervisor. Like I kept calling him and saying, hey, I wasn't at fault. Like you can't say that if I want to deal with a lawyer. Like that looks really bad. I was a pedestrian. How am I at fault? I was at a crosswalk in a parking lot. Like, you know the parking lot beside the college? Yeah. That's where it happened. It was like in between there's like a Loblaws and you're walking towards the back. You know what I'm talking about. That like side section, that's where I got hit, right? And so
I walk by there all
right? So everyone does. Like there was 3 people in front of me walking and I stopped and looked. And luckily I had a witness because there's a stop sign. Basically where I crossed, I'm like, that's the safest place. There's a stop sign. There's a car that's going to stop and he'll see me. So that's where I was crossing, but I was like almost halfway when the SUV ended up hitting me. And I didn't even see her because before I already had bad vision in one of my eyes, my left eye. So I didn't even see her. I heard her. Wow. And so I didn't have earphones in. I didn't have anything obstructing like my vision or my view. She ended up hitting me and then the cop tried blaming me for it. So I went to his supervisor and then he's like, oh, is there any witnesses? And I was like, yeah, there was like this truck here, blah, blah. And then he looked into it and he called me back and he's like, nope, you're right. I'm sorry. Wow. All that. It's insane though.
Like, I mean, like, it's like, well, like, I mean, I think the thing too is like, you weren't exactly like, you weren't all there.
Yeah, like that's what I didn't understand.
I think that, like, the other thing too is like, I think there was like this like rush to get it done. Yeah. Right. And that's where like discrepancies happens. Like, actually, I'm not going to bring that up right now, but like, there are certain times where like, I've caught the news slipping. I've caught the police slipping. And this is all like based on like, I'll turn on the news and I'll hear that someone I knew or something that, right? And I'll be like, I wasn't there, but I knew that's not how it went down.
No, and like, that's the thing that just makes me like really upset though with like the cop thing. It's because like little mistakes I could get over. Like the first thing of him interviewing me would have been fine. Like I could have gotten over that. But then the fact that the police report was wrong for one, because he said that she hit me at 5 to 10 kilometers an hour. You hit someone at 5 to 10 kilometers an hour, you're going to push them over. You're not going to run them over. Like there's a difference. Like, cause I got flown off like her, left, like her front, her driver's side, wherever the light switches are. What are those called? Headlights. Was I an auto mechanics? Who knows? Basically, that's where I like bounced off of it and then I flew underneath. And she kept going. Yeah. So she wasn't driving like a 5 to 10 kilometers. And that's why I got so upset with like the police officer. Upset, quote unquote, not really upset. I hate authority, but I'm afraid of authority, not even hate. I'm afraid.
Okay, we're getting close to the end. But
oh man.
I don't want to end on a negative note.
No,
so
it's not negative.
Real quick, I'm going to tell a really quick anecdotal story. I don't remember if I told it on the podcast yet, but it's just something I remember. My very first year of college, someone left their car in the parking lot. In the parking lot where you had your accident. Yeah. The exact parking lot. Okay, and I remember winter came and everything was great. And then all of a sudden in, I don't know, like I want to say like mid-April, there's an announcement like going around that was emailed to us that if you lost your car, we found it buried in the snow hill in that parking lot.
Oh my goodness.
And I like the thing too is like there was this flyer that I remember seeing in like
lost car?
No, yeah, like that. No, I remember seeing this flyer being handed out. Like it was like stuck on like the billboards and stuff. that someone's like stolen car.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
The snow storm.
I'm like, no, like the thing too is like, I'm like,
buried.
some guy left his car parked and then thought he lost it. Like, I'm like, the snow, like he must have been completely covered in snow. And like when the snowplow came, it just piled it all around the car. And I was like, that is like the craziest thing. I'm like, that only happens in Canada.
That's so sad.
I'm like, but the guy didn't have a car for like all of winter.
No, and like that poor guy, like he probably was like saving up to look for a new car, and all of a sudden he just finds his car under all this snow.
Yeah, or
probably rusted.
Yeah.
The gas has just been sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he actually bought a new car.
Yeah, true. And then the other
That
one
would just suck. Just
Like now he has his other car.
maybe he got insurance off the other one.
Who knows? But it was really funny. I was like, that's like, there's this other thing too. Like, my first year of college was really interesting because like actually more bizarre things happened my first year of college than every other year I've been in college.
Wow.
Because I don't know. I think it's just my perception of the things.
Maybe.
But like there's like this gate out along Residence, you know, that gate?
Yeah.
Like, that runs up. Someone like stuck a shopping cart. Like I have a picture of it on Twitter.
Oh my god.
Or like someone like just another day at the college, I guess. But like it's really funny. And a friend of mine's like, that's not here, is it? I'm like, yeah, it's here. He's like, what? I'm like, we can walk outside. I can show you right now.
That's insane. That's so funny.
Like, I'm like, when you get lazy of having to walk around the fence, you're just like, oh, just throw the cart over the fence.
Like, I can't believe they put a cart over that fence. I tried to climb that fence and I couldn't do it, so I don't know how they put a cart over.
I saw a guy do it once. This guy, he
put
like,
a cart?
No, he jumped over the fence.
Oh.
Like, he just like ran at it and he just like jumped right over it.
Oh,
it's
no.
weird, but I'm good at climbing fences.
I am not. Like, that's why I ripped one of my winter jackets. Like, the way the high school is, I used to live in the neighborhood beside. And, you know, like that fence that runs, like, on the right side of the school.
Along by, like, where all those houses are?
Yeah, so I used to live in that neighborhood, and then I had to be home by a certain time. So on the days that I was kind of running late, I would, like, jump over the fence.
Yeah.
Except one day I was, like, rushing too fast, and then I got caught, and then I ripped my brand new jacket. And then I was able to hide it from my mother for a month.
All right, let's end the podcast here.
Yeah, okay.
We're getting on so many tangents.
Yeah, so this has been Two Latin Brothers.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Really? That's
no.
I'm gonna be like, follow us on Instagram.
Oh yeah, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. If you'd like to plug yourself.
Oh yeah, my Instagram is @_Chloe Romaine, like the lettuce without the E.
It'll be linked in the description.
Yeah.
I'll link whatever else.
I think it's just my Instagram.
Yeah,
I'll
know,
use.
but I mean, like, I'm talking about all the other stuff. Like, also, if you have a question, email us.
Yeah.
All that stuff will be linked in the description.
Tell your friends. Yeah.
I don't know. Tell anybody really. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell
Come
somebody.
listen.
Tell your dog.
Come listen to us go on tangents. So.
Hope if you come back. I don't know.
Yeah. I meant like them going on tangents with their guests.
Yeah.
We'll catch you on the next listen.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.